Welcome to another video of Insane Wanderers. So, this time, Insane Wanderers have experienced a trip to Koraput and Borra caves. So, as a first pit stop, we planned to visit the Gupteshwar cave, which is pretty famous. So, Gupteshwar cave is dedicated to Lord Shiva. It's basically a Shiva temple, and this pilgrim site is situated about 55 kilometers from Jaipur, which is at Korapur district in the state of Odisha. It's a limestone cave, and its main attraction is the gigantic Shivalinga, which is said to be increasing in size year after year. It is believed that the cave was discovered by Rama and rediscovered in the reign of Maharaja Vikramveer Dev in the holy month of Shravan, which is in Telugu we call it as Shravana Masam. The cave is visited by devotees who walk to the temple barefooted with decorated bamboo palanquins. In Hindi, we call them as Kanvadia, and they bathe in the Mahakund before worshipping Lord Gupteshwar. So there is a beautiful kund, which is also called a lake, which you will be seeing in the later part of the video. It is actually very scenic in nature and worth watching them. So after you can see the green lush, and this is actually the way towards the Gupteshwar cave. The steps are pretty steep. Uh, One needs to watch their step before they move forward, because there is every scope they might trip and just fall down. It is way too risky, so please mind your step before you go. As I said, there is Mahakund. So this right in front of your screen, you are seeing the Mahakund. So the pilgrims bathe here before reaching the cave. So they bathe here, and they remove all the impurities from their mind and bodies in this cave, in this Mahakund, and later they go worship. So there are around 200 steps to reach the Shivalinga temple. Its entrance is about 9.8 feet wide and 6.6 feet height. So it is surrounded by dense forest, as you see on the screen, and it is full of sal trees. And the Mahakund is a part of the Kolab River, which is about 6.6 feet high. Shivalingam stands right next to this kund in a cave. So this particular temple is called Gupteshwar, which means God in hiding. So Gupt in Hindi and Guptam in Telugu, we call it as a hiding place for Shiva. And basically, this is being called Gupteshwar because it remained undiscoverable for a long time. One can reach it by climbing 200 steps flanked with rows of champak trees. So you can see all these are champak trees. You need to climb 200 steps above, right next to the kund to reach the cave. There are several other caves nearby. In the second cave, there is a large stalactite. Basically, stalactite is nothing but it's a place where the water drips. So that is called the stalactite. And here you can see the god Kamadhenu, which is the divine cow, where the Hindus worship the divine cow. And water drops fall on this Kamadhenu, making it more divine. So this is popularly called as Gupta Kedar, and it is the sacred place, and it is associated with the Hindu god Sri Rama. The nearby hill has been named Ramagiri. According to tradition, the lingam was first discovered by Lord Rama while he was roaming in the Dandakaranya forest with wife Sita, brother Lakshmana, and hence this cave is called Gupteshwar, because till then it was undiscovered and later Rama discovered it. So they have put the name as Gupteshwar. The poet Kalidas also described the scenic beauty of Ramgiri forest, where this cave temple is referred to in his famous book called Meghadutam. So Meghadutam is being written by the famous poet Kalidas, and it is written in the 4th or 5th century, and it is considered one of the greatest books. One can experience the beauty of the boating amidst this waterfall. So they would charge a nominal fee of 1,000 rupees for 4 persons, and that boat guy will take you across this waterfall. It circles around the cave, so you can see the Gupteshwar cave along with the Kamadhenu cave, and also the water dripping point on the Kamadhenu. As I said in my previous screen, so there is a water drop which continuously falls on the Kamadhenu, and it's a beautiful sight to watch. The best part about this is the water gushing down in a non-rainy season, which is amazing. The boat guy has taken us to the closest proximity of the waterfall. You can see right in front of your screen, we are at the closest proximity of the waterfall, which has given us the much required adrenaline rush. Just at a mere rishwat of about 100 or 150 rupees, you can experience this. I was told by the localites that the waterfalls are continuous all through the year. They hardly dry up. Irrespective of the season, you can see the same kind of waterfalls. Probably a pressure would be a little low, but these kunds never dried up if you take the past and the present into consideration. So future we can never say. So after thoroughly experiencing the Gupteshwar cave, the next place insane wanderers have experienced is the Rani Duduma waterfalls. This is around 80 kilometers from Gupteshwar cave. You can see the Rani Duduma waterfall we just reached. So this is one of the scenic natural beauties near Nandapur. So Nandapur is a small village in the Koraput district of Odisha. This waterfall is one of the famous picnic spots in the region of Nandapur, and basically this is not frequently visited by the tourists outside the district. So you can see this place is completely neat, free from plastics, because this particular place, apart from the localites, nobody knows that there is something called Rani Duduma which is worth visiting the place. So we happen to experience this as well. So in it is as I said, it is in the Korapur district of Odisha. This is also called the Switzerland of Odisha. So that scenic beauty of Switzerland can be experienced here. So right in front of your screen, you are seeing the Rani Duduma waterfalls. The Rani Duduma waterfalls, as I said, it is situated in the border of Koraput, Odisha, and Visakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh districts of India. This horsetail type waterfall is 175 meters, which is 574 feet in height, and is formed by the Machkund river. It has two sub waterfalls, one on the Odisha side and the other on the Andhra Pradesh side. Duduma is around 92 kilometers from Koraput and about 177 kilometers from Visakhapatnam. Machkund or Machakund Duduma is a hydroelectric project located near Duduma Falls. It is a collaborative project between the government of Andhra Pradesh and the government of Odisha. So both have come together and they have started this hydroelectric project by generating electricity out of the water. The project is consisting of 6 units, and it is installed at a capacity of 120 megawatts. Machkund is a pilgrimage destination. The Aboriginal tribe of Bonda, Gadaba, and Parajas live near this waterfall. So, trekkers and people who love to walk amidst the nature, and which we fondly call eco walk, they can truly experience some fascinating viewpoints. It is green everywhere. Trust me, there are no rains, yet the greenery is still intact. So due to some reasons, people did not spoil this area yet, and I hope that this remains like this forever. So as you can see right in front of your screen, this is amidst mountains, valleys, and green lush everywhere. After exploring Odisha and after entering the border of Odisha and Andhra Pradesh, the next adventure spot is Borra Caves. So insane wanderers completely entered the Andhra Pradesh region, which is the Borra Caves. Borra Caves are also called Borra Guhalu in Telugu, are located on the east coast of India in the Anantagiri hills of the Araku Valley. The hills are ranging from 2,600 to 4,300 feet of the Visakhapatnam district in Andhra Pradesh. These caves are one of the largest in the country at an elevation of 2,313 feet and distinctly exhibit a variety of speleothems. So, speleothems are nothing but the mineral deposits which over time forms natural caves. So Borra caves are mineral deposits initially which later formed into the natural caves. These caves are basically limestone structures extending to a depth of 260 feet and are considered one of the deepest caves of India. The native name for the caves is Borra Guhalu, where Borra means abdomen in Telugu and Guhalu means cave, again in Telugu. These caves were discovered in 1807 by William King George of the Geological Survey of India. You can hire a guide and you can have the complete Borra Caves expedition, and that guide will explain you what are Borra Caves and the coffee plantations in and around the Borra Caves, which is absolutely mesmerizing. So this is not all. We have been to many other places. So this would come as a next part. So if you like, subscribe and share this video, it gives us the motivation to do much more. Please like, share and subscribe to Insane Wanderers. This is Sashanka signing off. Bye.